I've been asking people to go get their PVCs and support Peter Obi in his presidential campaign towards Nigeria's 2023 elections. And they've been asking me why Peter Obi. And they've been expecting me to say something religious or something tribal. Well, it's purely based on strategic leadership change. Hey guys, so today we're going to be considering Nigeria's election. Yeah, Nigeria's election, 2023 election. Even though we are still in 2022, is that important? Is that pivotal? Is that historic? Historic in a sense, not because there's something significant about the time, but about the people running, about the state of the nation. I've looked at this thing and I want to speak to this issue from the perspective of a strategist. A lot of people don't know that I'm actually into strategy. I'm a trained strategist. I've done that for a while. I did that while I was still a lecturer. But now I do that like a major part of me now. I consult for companies. Well, startups and SMEs, product development, research, launch, rollout, plans, and all that. Strategic plans, basically, strategy, business, corporate strategy. So I want to look at this. I want to break this down for you because I hear people say things. And as much as because I'm an economist, okay, we are trained to look at people. Yes, we are actually trained to look at people as we used to be. When they say things, we just say, you just say something very stupid, and that's how we are trained. We are not trying to offend anybody. We are not trying to be rude. It's just that we hear some things people say, and like, how are you thinking like this? Okay, and we are almost as proud as lawyers. Lawyers are trained to actually be very proud and arrogant. They are really trained for that. We are not necessarily trained for that, but because of the way we have been trained to think, when we hear people think certain ways, like, how can you be so dumb and still breathe? How? So when I hear people say things like, oh, what has Peter Obi done? Peter Obi is one of the candidates running, okay? He's one of the candidates, flag bearers of a major party, and the party was not even a major party until he joined, and all the people that were with him joined the party. That's Labour Party. And Peter Obi is a capitalist. As far as I'm concerned, Peter Obi has not, as in, if you consider the essential nature of what you can call a Labour Party in any country, is generally a socialist movement. Labour parties are usually socialist in their perspective. Unions and strikes and equal right and equal pay and all that stuff. That's socialist. But this guy is a capitalist, and at that point he was really ready to go with any party that would give him a platform, because he left PDP. PDP, they are jokers, they are clowns. As far as I'm concerned, PDP as a political party in Nigeria is a joke. They are not ready. They are not ready. They are not serious. They are clearly not. That's the problem in party politics. They're not interested in bringing the best option. They're just interested in holding on to power. The candidates, Yeso Wike, who lost primaries at PDP, he couldn't be the flag bearer. He lost to Atiku Abubakar. Yeso Wike said it in his speech that they are looking for somebody who can get the power, and he was saying, "Give me the ticket, I'll go and get power for you." Because we've lost power. They lost power for the past 8 years. Since the Fourth Republic started in 1999 or year 2000. Okay, PDP has been running the show for 16 years until APC took over, because they were doing a good the impunity was just glaring. It was the stench of the impunity was so much. So APC made noise, and against my advice, people went to vote Buhari in. It was horrific. 8 years we are almost done with 8 years. It's been horrific. It's been oh my goodness, it's been a mess. It's been a mess. So PDP was expecting. The plan was that I was expecting PDP to rebrand. That was my plan. That was my thought, that PDP, okay, they will see their flaws, but they are very delusional. They lack self-awareness. I've never seen a party. Well, Democratic Party is like that too. The Democratic Party of the United States, they are like that. They are delusional. They have zero self-awareness. They are, as in, like, you guys, you know the mess you had that made you go to this point. Why not rebrand? Repackage yourself. Present yourself again as a formidable front, ready for that will handle merit and not just tribalism and nepotism and all that. No, they didn't rebrand. Instead, they were fighting for power. Even inside the party, it was a shame. It was a joke. To think that this party, Olusegun Obasanjo started this party and brought in elites, as in the crop of people Obasanjo brought into this party. Oh my goodness. You Kojo Ewalas, the Ezekwesilis, the Dora Quinyelis, the Ribadus, the Osoludos. Goodness God. I mean, he brought in the best of the best. Now look at the joke. Well, APC is a joke generally. We all know that APC is a group of recycled, incompetent politicians used as ministers and cabinet members and advisors. It's just a mess. But that's not my issue. My issue is why do I think Peter Obi is the best option? I'll tell you from a strategist point of view. He left PDP, like I was saying, I went to Labour Party, even though essentially they didn't hold the same ideologies, but he said, I would rather hide in a hut and build something good than stay in a mansion that is built on corruption. PDP is a mess. Let's not lie to ourselves. They are more interested in holding on to power than presenting us with the best candidate. So, that being said, why should people vote for Peter Obi? Somebody sent me a chat. That was yesterday, because I'm recording this early in the morning. So that was yesterday. I was like, how are you sure Peter Obi will not disappoint? That was how, he was quoting Buhari. Buhari, people supported Buhari in mass, and we were like, yes, Buhari is the person, blah blah blah. And Buhari is a good guy. That was what they campaigned on. They didn't campaign on competence. They knew they couldn't campaign on competence. They said Buhari is a good man. He has not stolen money. He has integrity. And I was like, oh, that's all nonsense. That's all nonsense, because no matter how good a man is, if he's surrounded by evil, he's an evil man. Buhari was being sponsored by people like think their hands are not clean. We know them. I don't want to mention anybody's name in the form of accusation. But they were surrounded by people whose hands are not clean. And you're not telling me that the man is clean. I'm sorry. That's not how cleanliness works. If you take a glass of water, clean water, and you drop into it one single drop, one tiny drop of dirty water, guess what? That clean water is no more clean. You can't consume it. Why? It has one drop. If you take a glass of dirty water and you take another glass of clean water, pardon me, and take another glass of clean water, and you empty that glass of clean water into the glass of empty water, guess what? The glass of dirty water is still dirty. Even though you empty a glass of clean water into the glass of dirty water, that glass of dirty water is still dirty. So you see how cleanliness works. Okay, the fact that I would take a Jesus surrounded by 11 good disciples and one Judas, that would take a devil surrounded by all demonic everybody around him is bad. No. So they all jumped on Buhari's bandwagon, and it was everybody supported Buhari back then. Why should we support Peter Obi now if there's a possibility that he will go there and mess up? How am I sure that he won't go there and mess up? I told him, I'm not sure Peter Obi will not go there and mess up. not sure. I don't know him anywhere. I've never met him before. He doesn't know me. I don't know him. He has not sent me money. I've not sent him money. I think I need to send. I need to pay. I need to actually support his campaign. There's a bank account for crowdfunding. I don't know what's in my throat. Can I clear my throat? Sorry, I don't know what's in my throat. So, but I still understand that even though I'm not sure he will go there and not disappoint. I told him that back then I did not support Buhari, and I made it clear. I said it loud. I shouted it from the rooftop. Buhari is a bad idea. I said it again and again. I lost friends during that period. I lost friends, people who blocked me, who I blocked. I lost friends, I lost people because a lot of people, even some of the friends some of the people that they were not happy with me back then, they are no more in the country. They voted for Buhari and they left the country. Yes, a lot of them left the country and they broke grammar. Oh, and these are Christians. I'm not saying that Christians must always vote Christian. I'm saying they were feeling they needed to be liberal with their thoughts. They needed to be more liberal and more leftist. I'm like, no, let's not be foolish. Let's not be foolish. The man is incompetent. It was clear that the man was incompetent. There was no time they campaigned on his competence. All they said was he's a good man, he has integrity, he's a good man, he has integrity. That's all. And who does that? But Peter Obi now is running on competence. He's running purely on competence. People say he's running on that is a tribalism. Anybody that says the tribalism is a dumb. You have to be a dumb to think that people are supporting Peter Obi because of his tribe. Why? If you remove Peter Obi and replace him with what they call his name, the man in charge of Abia State. What's his name? Oh God Almighty! Is he? No, I don't. Let me not call somebody's name by mistake. The man in charge of Abia State. If you replace him with Peter Obi and say, "Oh, this is the man that wants to run for that," all people from east of the Niger vote for this guy. You will be shocked. You will be shocked the way people just run in the opposite direction. They will rather vote Tinubu than vote that man. I'm telling you, Igbo people will rather vote Tinubu than vote that guy. That's how bad it is. But Peter is not running on tribal grounds. He's running based on competence, and anybody with half a brain knows that the guy is competent. No, but I'm yet to find somebody who can give me an argument purely based on competence. Anybody can give me an argument that says Atiku or Tinubu or even Kwakwaso is a better candidate than Peter Obi based on competence. Nobody will give you any sound argument based on competence. They will only go around and tell you political reasons. But if you take based on merit, based on competence, nobody will give you reason. Most of them are desperate. The last time we gave the presidency to a man based on ambition, it was Buhari. Buhari had no competence on ground. He had no plan. He literally had no plan. In fact, his major selling point was, when I get into office, I will lock all the people that corrupt the PDP. I will lock them up. That's a dumb strategy. And that was what was running on change. That if you bring me in, I will just open prison. In fact, if there are so many of them, I will build more prisons and I will lock them up. He had no plan. What he had was ambition. His ambition was to be the president. Tinubu said it when Tinubu was talking about, and he was saying Emilio Con. When he was saying what was he saying? He basically said Buhari was crying that he was not president. Why? Because it's a personal ambition. It's a personal ambition. And look at where the country is because of one man's ambition. Now I want to give it to Tinubu or Atiku because they don't have anything they want to do. It's just an ambition that in my life I was a president. I will now have a lineage of potential presidents. It's nonsense. We don't want. Nigeria is too big an entity to be subjected to such nonsense. Yes, I said it. It's too big an entity to be subjected to such nonsense. You understand? I think it's problematic. Okay, to consider those people. So why Peter Obi? From a strategist point of view, when you want to make changes to an organization, all right? When you want to make changes to an organization that is failing, or even it might not be an organization, it might be a department, a unit in an organization, it might be a strategic business unit, an SBU in an organization. You want to make changes, okay? In a situation where you cannot change everybody in the department, you cannot change everybody. Sometimes it might just be sometimes if you can afford it, if there are not so many of them, and the company can afford it, they might just say, okay, everybody in the department, you are fired. They wipe it out and they start afresh, okay, because of the sensitivity of that department. But if you cannot do that, and you feel okay, you want to make changes, you want to have more results, what you need to do is to change the leader. You need to change the leadership of that department, that unit, that business, that organization. If you want to do that, you cannot. It will be foolhardy now or counterproductive to replace the leader of a failing unit with another member of the same unit. Let me say it again. You want to make changes to a unit or an organization entirely. You want to change the leadership of that unit. It will be dumb for you to now bring someone who is a current member of the unit to replace the leadership. In other words, this unit is doing bad. Hey, leader of this unit, get out. You're fired. You cannot do anything. You're competent in this place. Then you, who is a member of the same problematic unit, I will now upgrade you to the leadership. That's strategic stupidity. You will end up with worse results. Not even the same results, but worse results. Why? A lot of the time, when organizations are failing, repeatedly failing, all right, it is a fundamental problem. Usually, it is a mental problem. It is a problem of the mind, the orientation, the culture of the people. So you don't pick someone who is a member of that same people, having the same mental culture, the same behavioral pattern, and then make that person the leader, and you're expecting change. That is strategic stupidity. You don't do that. What you do is you bring someone from outside who is competent, who has shown record of helping organizations, helping units like this excel. He has a track record. He can do the job. You have seen his track record that he does the job well. You bring that person and you install that person as leader, and you say, okay, leader, do what you do your magic on these people. Then that person can now say, okay, we might need to change everybody. Let's overhaul the whole system, or let's remove one or two people, or let's bring in one or two people. Whatever he would do, whatever she would do, it is based on competence, strong competence. Why? Because he's not part of the system. He's bringing a new mindset. It is on this premise I still insist that Nigeria's power supply problem will not be solved with people from the system, with Nigerians. Let me not say with Nigerians, with Nigerians that live in Nigeria. Nigerians who have lived in Nigeria all their life, they won't solve Nigeria's power supply problem, power sector problem. No. I don't care if you are Babatunde Raji Fashola and he's a very strong somebody with shishi. They will not do anything. Why? Nigerians who have lived in Nigeria all this while are used to mediocrity. They are used to it. They've lived with it. They've experienced it. They will continue like. In fact, it will get to a point that the best of their effort will be 15 hours power supply every day. And they will be beating their chest and tapping themselves on the back like, yes, after all, you've achieved 15 hours power supply. And they'll be hailing themselves and snapping pictures and you'll be ashamed. People who have gone over the world and you've seen incompetence. Even in Africa, they will be ashamed. Why? Because we are just recycling leaders into positions instead of changing them. If Nigeria wants to deal with power supply in this country, there's one solution which can be divided into two. Subdivided into two. The main thing is get someone who is not used to this system, who is not familiar, who is not comfortable with the mediocrity in the power sector. Get someone like that. That person will get into office and his body will be pinching him. When he sees the nonsense going on, his body will be pinching him, her body will be pinching her, and she will now make changes. And she will insist on those changes because he has superior knowledge, the person has understanding. Peter Obi is currently in Egypt, trying to understand how they are successful. They are the number one spot for investment in Africa. They have power supply. They have what now? Electricity. What else was he going to do? This he was going to go and look at. And he's doing that. People are complaining, oh, he should be in Nigeria, going from place to place, shouting, change, vote for me, hey, democracy, oh, democracy. Hey, I vote for me. Take money, spray money, share t-shirt, give them the money, give them. Shebi now they have started bagging bags of beans. They have started packaging bags of beans with politicians' names on it so that they can share to people. That's politics you want to play. That's why you are condemning someone who went to Egypt to go and learn things. Show where it's making noise. The British High Commissioner had to respond to his tweet. Like, stop being stupid. In my mind, that's what that tweet said. Stop being stupid. And he definitely can't say that it has to be diplomatic, but he's like, stop being stupid. The normal you guys have been doing the normal all this while. Let somebody come and show you how it's done. Now the guy is in Egypt taking pictures and it's just mind blowing. They actually gave him an entourage. They gave him a tour. They are giving him a tour in Egypt, how he's done, how things are done. I'm telling you, I'm sure he paid for those things. He paid for that tour with his own money, with his own pocket. He paid for that tour. He paid for those things. Egypt is not charity organization they are doing there. Now they are the best. Nigeria is not even on top 10. Nigeria is not in top 10 investment spots in Africa. And we are said giant of Africa. You not the shame. The best bet is get someone that is not used to the system, probably a foreigner. Let me say it again. Probably a foreigner. Don't be shaking. The fact that I said go and bring a white man, go and bring an Asian, go and bring a North African. Someone who has made it happen in Indonesia, in Singapore, in Malaysia, in Egypt, in Hong Kong. People who have done it well. Don't go and get the Chinese, please. Don't get the Chinese. I beg you. I hope some people don't even know that Hong Kong is not in China. Hong Kong is no more under China. They are separate now. Don't get the Chinese, please. Their ways are not pure. But get someone who is a foreigner, who has done it well in their place, who knows what it means to have 24 hours power supply, who is allergic to stupidity and mediocrity. This is the same thing we are trying to do to our government. This was why last election I supported Fela Dutoye, I supported Kingsley Moghalu, I supported Obi Ezekwesili. Why? Because they are not used to the mediocrity of Nigeria's politics. Nigeria's politics is comedy material for developed countries. I'm telling you, if you just document Nigeria's political landscape, Nigeria's political activities in a document, I give it to Trevor Noah, or you give it to who now? Which person is intellectually sound enough? Maybe Michael Jr. or who now? It will be material. They will go on tour around the cities of the United States and just use Nigeria's politics as material, and they will hammer. They will hit it big because our politics is a joke. And these recycled people we are bringing in. So, from a strategist point of view, your best bet is to bring someone who is not used to the system, who is not part of the system, someone from private sector. Look at what Donald Trump did to the United States. Oh my goodness! If you look at the numbers, look at the statistics, what that guy did to the United States. He's one of the Clinton, Bush, Obama. they didn't do half of what Donald Trump did. Go and look at the figures. Don't look at me and say, oh, Donald Trump is a bad guy. And I know that Donald Trump has major issues. But I feel Donald Trump was a major reason why he lost. He had the opportunity to unite the country in 2020 when all those riots were happening, but he didn't handle it well because he has very poor interpersonal. I think he has very poor interpersonal skills, especially with people, interpersonal skills, especially with people who are not, his supporters. He's an alpha male. So if you're not alpha males, if you don't support them, if you're not behind them, they just see you as an enemy and they cut you down. But Donald Trump was one of the best things that happened to America in recent history. Joe Biden is a mess. Joe Biden is let me do this analysis for you so I can see what I'm saying. You can see why I'm pushing for Toby. I did this analysis for I'm part of a research group, very very massive research group. Doctors, professors, people that on a normal day I might not even be able to look them in the face, but they were chatting on WhatsApp, and they were people. Intellectuals have a way of being elitist, they being snobbish, okay, and they were backing Buhari and they were saying, this problem is worldwide. Everybody's like, wait, calm down. And I just looked at the analysis. And when I was done with the analysis, they were just quiet. They couldn't talk to me anymore. They couldn't answer me. These are professors. These are PhD people. They couldn't respond to me because they knew that I was right. They knew the analysis was sound. I told them, let's use United States as our mark because they are we consider them the evidence of development. As in, even other developed countries around the world depend on them. Okay, people like the Scandinavians. Okay, those people don't even have military budgets because they're depending on America's budget, America's military defense. So let's use America as a mark. America had Joe Biden. Joe Biden has experience in politics. He has been around the corridors of power for years, almost close to half a decade. So that's half a decade, half a century, almost 50 years. He has been hanging around power in the legislative arm of government, in committees, even as a vice president. So he was a major decision-making individual in government for close to 50 years. So you would think that he has experience. He has worked corridors of power. He has been into foreign policy. He knows all these things. He has experience. And what do you think? If given the position, let him be president. It's barely 15 months into his presidency. 18 months into his presidency. In fact, just a year into his presidency, the catastrophe. Oh my God. His presidency has been so shambolic. It's so shambolic that his ratings are now in the 20s. People are his approval ratings are in 30s, as in 30% are saying that he's doing well. And it's not as if they are even saying that he's doing so well. It's just that they are comfortable with him being in power. Is a shambles. It's a mess. It's such a mess that he's now blaming everybody. He's blaming the war in Russia, in Ukraine. He's blaming OPEC. He's blaming everybody. He's blaming the big organizations for not paying taxes. He's blaming the media for not presenting him well. He's just grasping at every straw possible because he has been a shambolic president. You would think that because he has experience, he's doing things right. No. The same thing with Buhari in Nigeria. Buhari has been the head of state before. He has worked corridors of power. He has been a leadership figure in Nigeria for years. You would think he has competence. You give him the position of presidency, a mess, a full-blown mess for the past 6-7 years now. A catastrophic mess. So clearly, age and experience in office is not useful. So all these people that say, oh, what is Fela does not have experience, Peter Obi does not have sufficient experience, Kiss Mogalu should go and start from local government council. you have to be very stupid to say things like that. As in, you have to be very, very, flamboyantly dumb to say things like that. You don't need the experience to be in power. How do I know this? Let's continue with analysis. Donald Trump has no experience in politics. He has zero experience in politics. In fact, if before the election they had done a kind of test to see his political ability, Donald Trump is pure merit. He grew up in private sector. He grew up as son of a businessman and a businessman. It is purely merit. He had a show called The Apprentice, and the high point of that show was where he would tell somebody, "You're fired." He will fire anybody. That guy was on a campaign trail. He was at the spot, and they gave him a podium. He was on the podium, and there was a microphone on the podium, and the microphone was not doing well, as he was not communicating well. And he was talking about how he will bring the best hands to work with him in the White House. He will bring the best people to help him support and everything. And the microphone was working badly, and he said he won't tolerate, mediocrity. He won't tolerate a bad job. In fact, he said, in fact, the person who set up this microphone should be fired. Who did this microphone, who set up this podium, who was in charge of this microphone. I want to see the person, and definitely they won't show you the person. They will go. So I want to see the person who was in charge of this microphone. The person did a bad job. That person should be fired. That person is fired. So the man is pure merit. That's how he sees everything. Merit. You understand what I mean now? Now that person comes into office and he delivers. The last person that delivered as good as that guy delivered was Reagan. Is it Reagan? Yeah. As president. What's his name? Bill Clinton did not do. Oh goodness. As he compared to Donald Trump, they failed. Clinton, Bush, Obama, Biden, they failed compared to Donald Trump. Whether it's his work in America for everybody, his effect on black people, his effect on prisoners, his effect on Latino people, his effect everywhere in the economy. Donald Trump did, as in evidently well. What he had problem with was diplomacy. He was not a good diplomatic person, so he was not bending, and that's CEOs for you. CEOs are generally psychopaths. A lot of people don't know. Psychopathy, the same indicators that show that somebody is a psychopath are the same indicators that show that somebody is a good CEO. Good CEOs, excelling CEOs are generally psychopaths. They don't have time for small talk. I'm sorry for you, pity party, empathy, sympathy, and all the other parties. They don't have nonsense. They don't have that. That's how CEOs think. That's why they excel. It's a dog eats dog world. If you are standing that way, they tear you down. If you are standing, that's why people are saying if Donald Trump wants to come back again to run again, that they should just let him go unopposed. Because if you put a good candidate with him, by the time Donald Trump has turned that person down, and the person still manages to get the ticket, when they get to the general elections, the person will have nothing to offer because Donald Trump has turned you. The guy is aggressive, but he delivers. He delivered. So, we want to now bring that into Nigeria now. Peter Obi is the closest person to Donald Trump. He has excelled in the private sector. He excelled so well that they went to beg him to run for governor of Anambra State. He ran for governor of Anambra State. They antagonized him with politics, and he insisted, he persisted, and he won, and he did his time. They tried to impeach him because of his low-cost government, small government orientation. Yes, he was small government. Government must be small. All this spending is nonsense. And they tried to impeach him like 2 times. They failed. When it was done, he left. He left millions or even billions, and not just millions of naira, millions of dollars in multiple banks for Anambra State government. So much so that when the next governor came in, he had so much money to do so many things. People were thinking, this man is a wonderful man. They didn't know that he was just spending money that the former governor Peter Obi left. So Peter Obi is not used to the mediocrity. That was why when they started sharing money in delegate election, that's primary election, Peter Obi just said, I'm not even doing. days before the election, when he realized that people were sharing dollars, bribing delegates to vote for them, he just said, I'm not involved in this mess, and he left. So sent his resignation letter, left the party. I don't know, I would rather go somewhere else that is small, that doesn't have structure, the so-called structure. I will go there and build structure and build something good than stay here and get into office based on corruption. Because if you say let's use money, Peter Obi has money. Peter Obi is wealthy. Have you gone to check? He's wealthy. So if he wants to throw money around, he will do it. But he will get into office and he will replenish, and he will end up being the same corrupt politician like the rest of them. That's why when I hear people say, "Oh, this person is campaigning. He doesn't have experience. You should go to councillor. You can learn. You should go to councillor or do local government chairman or run for governor." That's nonsense. If they have done enough work in the private sector, if they have excelled in the private sector, they deserve to run. Experience has no place in the office of the presidency. That's nonsense. That's an illusion. People don't know. They don't know that the president is simply a decision maker. The people who do the work, the people who need the experience, are his advisors, senior advisors to this, senior advisors to that, political this thing, economic analyst, this one, that one, that. Those are the people that actually have the experience. Those are the ones that make recommendations, and the president will now make decision on their recommendations. Those are the people who should be constrained by the requirement of experience, not the president. The president does not need experience. There's nowhere that is stated the president needs experience. Nowhere. Obasanjo didn't have experience. Obasanjo was second in command to Murtala Mohammed. When Murtala was killed, he took over, and he didn't take over to rule. He took over so that he can hand over back to civilian rule. He didn't take over to become chairman. He took over because there was a coup, and he stopped the coup. He shut down the coup. Then he handed over power to civilians to run the government. Then he was locked up in prison. When he came out, Bishop Walioke went to prophesy to him that he should run, that God is backing him. He ran for election and he won. He didn't have any wonderful experience anywhere, but he did a very good job based on the level Nigeria was. He did a good job. Now we have the opportunity to bring in somebody who is not part of the system. That's one of the reasons why Obasanjo won, because he was not part of the system. He spent his years in prison. When he came out, he was a transformed pastor. He was a straight up pastor. So he didn't know all the nonsense politics. Now you want to elect somebody who is a politician, a die-hard politician, a machine politician. That's what they call them, machine politicians, career politicians. It will backfire. I promise you to backfire. What we need now in this country is someone who is far away from the political scene, who is far away from the political class as far as possible. And right now, the only option, the farthest person we can get from the political class is Peter Obi. He's the farthest person. He's the one that is far away from the politics as far as possible. He doesn't look like any of them. You can say Atiku was only vice president. Well, he still plays politics. He still does party politics. He has been in party politics all this while, jumping from this party to the other party, considering this, considering that. Oh my goodness! Even when he was VP, he backstabbed his president and he turned against his president. He was VP to Obasanjo. After a while he was VP, he said Obasanjo is threatening his life. Obasanjo wants him dead, and he ran away from the country. Now Obasanjo was like, "Me want you dead." Obasanjo said, If your life is at risk and you are the vice president of a country, then people who don't have security detail, people who don't have the power that you have and the money that you have, what would they now say? Ladies and gentlemen, your best option. Ladies and gentlemen in Nigeria, your best option is Peter Obi. Please go and get your PVC. I'll advise you to vote for him. I don't know him anywhere. He has not told me to campaign for him. But I can tell you with confidence that even though I don't know him, and I cannot tell you that he will do all the wonderful things that we want him to do in the office. I can't tell you that if he gets to office, he will not disappoint us. I can't tell you that. Nobody can tell you that about anybody. I can't even tell you that about myself, because as well as there's a jazz in that office that makes people not to do well. I can't really tell you anything like that. But what I can tell you is this: based on what is on ground, based on the 4 people that we know that are running for office, Peter Obi is the best. He's the most competent. He's the one with the best. He's the one with the best credentials. Trust me. The rest don't match up. They don't match up halfway. They don't. I don't care how old they are. I don't care how much money they have. I don't care how long they've spent in politics. In fact, there is an inverse correlation between how long you spent in political scene and how competent you will be as a president. Yes, there's an inverse relationship. And right now, Peter Obi seems to be the best option. But if you don't want to vote for Peter Obi, vote for any clown you want. What I know is, if you vote for any clown and somewhere down the line you want to go and protest because the clown is doing stupid things, and you tell me, oh, Big Dad, come and protest with us, you need to protest, I will come to your house and beat you up. Yes, I said it. I will beat you well. I will flog you with cane on your bumble because you don't have sense. And that was the same thing I told people when they were doing NSAS. Oh, Big Dad, come and protest with us. I told my friends, don't go anywhere. I had a close friend of mine who lived close to Lekki Tollgate. I told her, don't go anywhere. She was like, you need to come. I said, don't go anywhere. And nonsense. When I was telling people, Buhari has nothing to offer people, he will actually be counterproductive. He said no. Now they are going to protest, and they're telling me I should come and protest with them. They're trying to guilt me into protesting with them. I said no. When it was time to make the right decision, people said no, you want to do stupid things. Now sit down and enjoy your stupid. Maybe they call soldiers to come and shoot them at the Lekki Tollgate. God will help all of us in this country. I've said my own. I didn't come at it from a Christian perspective. I didn't come at it from a religious perspective. I didn't come at it from a tribalistic perspective. I came at it from a strategic perspective. Purely merit. Purely based on facts and figures. Peter Obi is your best option. If you disagree, let me know. Alright? God bless you. This is the size of today's podcast, and I'm glad you are part of it. Please give us a 5-star rating and follow us on that platform where you listen to us right now. You can also share this podcast with friends and family and anybody you want to share it with, so that we can get out there, get more visibility, and spread the love of God as far as possible. Click on our link tree and gain access to everything we have done and everything we are doing and everything we will do in the coming days. You can get our branded merch, you can get our music, you can get access to our donation platform where you can become a partner or just make one-time donations. You can also get access to our videos on YouTube, Salt TV, and subscribe. Please subscribe to our channel. Do well to share this content around the world, because this is how we spread the love of God. Honestly, it will do us a lot of good. Follow us on social media, Facebook and Instagram, Danny McDon and the Project Salt, and we really appreciate your following. God loves you.